Hey guys, my name's TCaptainX or Tyler, and today we're going to talk about my story or my journey of how I became a full-time content creator. So growing up, I was always playing video games. It started with Nintendo 64 on games like Super Smash Brothers and James Bond GoldenEye. As I got older, PlayStation 4 and Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare were my first big kind of online shooter. I remember playing game battles, which were like online tournaments, and there was one season where me and my duo were first place for Call of Duty, and I remember being so proud of that and kind of bragging to all of my friends. And that's where my competitiveness really came from in gaming, I think. So as I grew up and got older, video games remained a big part of my life. I was really always playing them when I had free time. Eventually, I went off to college and I got a bachelor's of science degree in nursing, and I became a full-time registered nurse. I soon bought my first house, and one of the first things I did after buying my house was I went and bought a gaming PC. And then was when Fortnite was getting really big and it was at its peak. Ninja was huge. He was playing with Drake, and of course I wanted to be like him, and I wanted to be a big famous Twitch streamer. So started streaming, and of course I was getting 1, 2, 3 viewers who were usually like my girlfriend or one of my friends. And yeah, I got pretty frustrated quickly, and I soon stopped streaming. But then several months went by and COVID started. And as a lot of you guys probably remember, we were cooped up inside and we had a lot more times to do things like play video games. And my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, she was making TikTok videos herself and was actually having a lot of success with them. And she was like, why don't you make TikTok videos of you gaming? So I started streaming and recording and started kind of making these little highlight reels of my gaming. For the first several months of doing this, I did not have a lot of success. I was averaging like at best 5 viewers, maybe. I was getting a few hundred views on TikToks. But then I came across a YouTuber by the name of Finzar, who is kind of an editor. Some of you guys may have heard of them. And I started learning actually really how to edit and how to really, take my content from just like plain cut clips and starting to do more with them. And one of my first videos that did really well was actually a SPR sniper loadout video. For those of you guys that play Warzone, you might remember the SPR. It was super broken when released. It was hit scan and it did really well. And then I was like, okay, maybe I can start figuring this out. But then it was the summer of 2021, and that was when YouTube introduced Shorts. And I was one of the first people, I think, to start posting my TikToks to YouTube Shorts and started gaining a lot of traction there. And I remember specifically I did a video on the nail gun when it came out in Warzone, and it blew up. It went viral. It did like 1 million+ views on YouTube, and ever since that video, my YouTube Shorts were always doing really well. It was like I kind of got into the algorithm, and I remember gaining like 50,000 subscribers in 1 month because I had all this momentum on YouTube Shorts. And as time went on, things kept doing better and better slowly, and I was actually starting to make a little bit of money off content creation. I was like, you know what, maybe I could actually do this full time. And just recently I had gotten married to my girlfriend, now wife. Because of that, I was able to go on her benefits. I could still have insurance, and I didn't have to worry about not having a full-time job essentially. So in November of 2021, I officially went part-time as a nurse. And although I was still working close to full-time hours, I had a little bit more time to put towards my content, and I started getting more consistent, especially with my long-form videos. So as time went on, things kept getting better and better as I had more time to focus on my content. And as for people that are wanting to kind of go about this same journey as I did, the number one thing I can tell you is focus on your content over your streaming. Streams are a byproduct of your content. And because of that, I was averaging probably maybe around like 300 viewers or so by the time it came June of 2022. So a little over a year, or a little under a year after making the switch fully to YouTube. And that was the moment where I was like, you know what? I'm making enough money where I can, not really need my nursing income. And we basically, in June of 2022 is when I went full time as a content creator. Now, the reason I do the quotes is I actually still work as a registered nurse to this day, but I only work my bare minimum. I work 1 weekend a month, and that is just so I can keep my license and not lose it. And I can basically always fall back on it in case I ever, in case it doesn't work out, or in case I just want to go back and become a nurse again. And right around that same time was actually when my good friend Godar2 reached out to me, and he was like, hey, have you ever thought about joining a team? Would you want to join Xen? And he was on Xen as a Fortnite creator. He had left Call of Duty and got back into Fortnite. And I was like, I don't know. I mean, I never really taken being on a team that seriously. I was kind of just doing my own thing. But he had convinced Laz, who's the CEO and owner of Xen, to expand out of Fortnite and get into Call of Duty. So I was like, you know what? Let's do it. So I joined Xen, and really since I joined Xen, which I believe was June of 2022, I've had just a lot of doors open up for me and a lot of good things happen. Being able to work with their editors, which have really, increased my productivity and ultimately actually saved me money in the long run. And then I also met my management, Carter Pulse, because Xen works with Carter Pulse as well, which started getting me in the doors with brand deals and things like this, and really getting to expand and focus on just content and, totally forget about, my income as a nurse and just get to live this dream of being a content creator. And since then, I've been in Xen for a few months and things are still going great. We've got Warzone 2 just on the horizon, and I couldn't be more excited. And I would say, yeah, that's my journey. But, after all of that, I think we're just getting started.